What's up, everybody, and welcome to Wildcard Sports. In today's video, we are going to go over the NHL Champion Blueprint. This is an update video. I'm updating you guys all season long, so don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you're new. This will really help you determine and help you see who will win the NHL Stanley Cup based off the blueprint. This hits year after year after year. Teams that hit 4 of these categories have the best chance of winning it all. Even if they hit 3 out of 4 categories, they have a good chance as well. If they hit less than 3 categories, their chances of winning the Stanley Cup are very, very low. So these are the tiers or the categories that you have to hit and able to win the Stanley Cup. So top 11 in even strength goal differential, top 12 in even strength save percentage, top 16 in shot attempt Corsi, and then top 14 in goals against. This is the list, so you feel free to pause the video. I'm not going to go over every single team in the list, but feel free to pause it right here if you want to look if your team is in it. I'll show you guys the tiers in just a second based off the blueprint. But feel free to pause it, screenshot it, do whatever. But let's look at the tiers based off this. These are teams hitting all 4 categories. So tier 1A, those 4 teams that you see at the tops, Avs, Capitals, Kings, and Lightning, they're hitting every single category. 4 out of 4. That is great. Obviously, the Kings are slipping. The Capitals are slipping. But the Avs and the Lightning are 2 top-tier teams in the NHL. So, of course, they are going to be at the top. I think right now, Avs are favored to win the Stanley Cup, and Lightning are probably right there in second. So that is pretty accurate there. But, hey, keep an eye on the Capitals. Keep an eye on the Kings, even though they are slipping a little bit. So, tier 1B, you got the Hurricanes, Stars, Wild, Islanders, Bruins. They're hitting 3 out of 4 categories. That's still great, like I said. So, pretty much based off the championship blueprint and based off history, these teams right here in tier 1 will win. One of those teams will win the Stanley Cup. Obviously, it will change throughout the season, so this is not the end-all, be-all tier right here. So this will change. That's why I want you to stay tuned, and I'll keep you guys updated week by week. But if the playoffs were to end today, a team in this right here in this tier would win the Stanley Cup, almost guaranteed. So tier 2, they're hitting at least 2 categories. So, Kraken, Flyers, Mammoth, and Penguins, they're hitting 2 categories. Pretty average. They probably won't win the Stanley Cup if it ends. And then you'll be pretty shocked by tier 3. Very shocked. Oilers in tier 3 again. So they were in tier 3 last year when the playoffs started. Yes, they made it to the Stanley Cup, and I said tier 3 teams can make the Stanley Cup, but I said go all in on the Panthers. Panthers were tier 1 last year, and look what happened. They won it again. But look at the Panthers now. They dropped to tier 3, so don't waste your time on them. They are climbing, though. But as of now, they're not in a wild card spot. But that race is so close. The Maple Leafs have went on a run. They're finally up there in the playoffs. The Sabres made a little run there. They're in a wild card spot as of now. That's a little shocking. Sharks are doing great, but they still are a tier 3 team because they're not really hitting any categories. If you look back at the blueprint, you don't see the Sharks in any single category, so that's not great. They do have a great future, though. The Sharks do, but as of now, the Sharks are a tier 3 team based off the blueprint. Knights, of course, they're doing well, but they are a tier 3 team. They're only hitting 1 category, and that's shot attempt Corsi. So that's just something you got to keep an eye on. Let's look at the Stanley Cup odds according to Vegas right now. Avalanche favored, like I said. Lightning second, like I said. And then, the tiers show that. We got the Lightning and the Avs in there. So that's pretty accurate. So say if we want to take a flyer and the Capitals do make the playoffs or the Kings, look at the Capitals odds right now. And it's not saying it's guaranteed for them to win, of course, but look at their odds. They're amazing if you want to make some money. Where was it? Right here. Plus 2,700. That's great. And then Kings plus 4,000. So Vegas really has no confidence in the Kings as of now. So yeah, you got the Wild in there, Stars, Hurricanes. These are all teams that have a strong shot of winning it all. So guys, these are the tiers. Keep this in mind. Like I said, follow along, subscribe, stay tuned. I keep you guys updated. We have an NHL Champion Blueprint and we have an NBA Champion Blueprint. It hits year after year after year. I'm telling you guys. But hey, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but it's pretty freaking close. Maybe a 98% chance there. So stay tuned. Let's see if it hits again this year. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.